Welcome back. Resuming the state's abortion ban has had wide-ranging impacts on the state's healthcare system. That included patients, but also doctors as well. And in Sheboygan County, where the Republican DA said that he would enforce the state ban, that caused Dr. Kristin Lyerly to move her practice over fears of prosecution. That also led her to join a lawsuit against the Sheboygan DA, the same lawsuit that this week threw out the state's abortion ban. Joining us now from Green Bay is Dr. Kristin Lyerly. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Will.
So what was your initial reaction to the news Tuesday night? How did you first find out?
I got a text from my legal team saying, we won. And I was absolutely thrilled. I had to just put everything down and just take a few breaths. It's been a long road.
Now, we were talking a little bit off air. You have moved your practice since to Minnesota. I want to go back to after that Dobbs decision. When you talk about that fear of prosecutions, what were some of those changes post-Dobbs that you had to face?
Well, after Dobbs, we immediately shut down all abortion care in Wisconsin. And by abortion care, it was so poorly defined. I mean, this law is from 1849. So we didn't know about ectopic pregnancies and miscarriages and a lot of these other things that are very closely related to abortion care. And providers, not just OBGYNs, but emergency medicine providers and family medicine providers and midwives, we were all very worried about what we could do for our patients and what we could be in danger for doing for our patients. So we tried to define that, and we continued to do that throughout the time that we were under this, this vector of prosecution. But for me personally, because I've been so outspoken and so visible, I didn't feel that it was safe for me to practice here in Wisconsin. So I've been practicing in parts of rural Minnesota and also on the Navajo Nation in Arizona, providing just general OBGYN care.
So you're also in a different position from someone like the Attorney General, who is also part of the suit. You're directly impacted by this decision. So how, after Tuesday, has this decision changed your practice?
At this point, it hasn't changed my practice because I've been able to provide full scope care, and I've needed to provide full scope care, including abortion care, even in rural parts of the country. However, it has changed the practice of my colleagues who are here in Wisconsin. And I can tell you the people who I've talked to have been overjoyed knowing that they can focus on their patients, what their patients need, providing evidence-based care, and just really not having to worry about being prosecuted, being thrown in jail, losing their medical license and their livelihood for taking care of their patients, for doing the right thing.
Now, the judge sided with you, but I didn't give you everything you were asking for. She stopped short of issuing an injunction against the DAs from enforcing that law. How important was that aspect to you? Are you satisfied with the declaratory judgment as is?
I am satisfied. The injunction was really more of a belt and suspenders approach. But what ended up happening was everyone agreed to abide by Judge Schlipper's ruling. So we didn't need the injunction, and that's why abortion is legal now in Wisconsin.
I've heard that Planned Parenthood expects to provide abortion services again in Sheboygan County very soon. From your colleagues, have you heard what this will look like kind of in Wisconsin, in northeastern Wisconsin going forward?
I haven't heard yet. It's only been a short period of time, but I know that we are very enthusiastic, not only about resuming care in Sheboygan, but about resuming care all over the state. Because remember, although we don't have abortion clinics across the state, abortions are performed in hospitals and clinics across the state for things like miscarriages and very complicated pregnancies. And these are the heartbreaking stories of people, families who are they're so challenged with the scenarios that they're facing. And they've been having to travel to Chicago, to Minnesota to receive this care. Now they'll be able to receive the care at home where their support people are and where they can be well taken care of.
Now, obviously, after this decision, are you encouraged by it at all? Does that change your calculations to maybe move your practice back here to Wisconsin?
I very much look forward to coming back home. My family's here. My family's been here for 6 generations. So this is where I belong, and I can't wait to start taking care of patients and families back home again.
Now, again, this may still be early yet, but I'm curious what capacity looks like going forward. Once we've seen this court decision, do you have a sense of whether Wisconsin's healthcare system is set to start resuming abortion care here in Wisconsin?
I think it's going to be a case-by-case basis. So we've already started resuming abortion care. We started a few months ago in the clinics in Madison and Milwaukee. We've been planning to resume care in Sheboygan. And I would say the health systems across the state are starting to make those plans again. We can't just flip a switch and turn it back on. It requires education, it requires information, and the chilling effect of this law that has really scared providers and patients alike, that will linger. And that's why I really appreciate the opportunity to get the word out that abortion is legal in Wisconsin. We can provide abortion care, we can seek abortion care without fear.
Dr. Kristin Lyerly, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Will.